Salutations, crustaceans. I'm Lobster, and today we're going to be taking a look at two modified Sire jazz basses, heavily modified by myself from my personal collection. Let's check them out. Beside me are two Sire jazz basses, my Sire V5 Fretless and my Sire V7 Vintage. My Sire V5 Fretless features a roasted maple neck with a lacquered fingerboard, an alder body, as well as an Albridge high mass bridge, DiMarzio Area J pickups, and Hipshot Ultralite tuners. I also replaced the stock tone cap with a 0.1 microfarad unit to add additional coloring with the tone control. And next to my V5 is my V7 Vintage Ash. This has a swamp ash body, 70s pickup spacing as does the V5, and a maple neck with maple fingerboard, block inlays, and a black binding. This bass also features an Albridge high mass bridge, DiMarzio pickups, and Hipshot Ultralite tuners. But since this is an active jazz bass, it actually has a Sadowsky onboard preamp, which I love. I already made a video featuring just the preamp in this bass. However, I've made further modifications since I made that video with the pickups, the bridge, and the tuners. So this is quite the jazz bass, and both of these are honestly my favorite jazzes to go to when noodling around. The V7 Vintage nails the Marcus Miller thing, nails it, and I just love slapping on that bass. And then this V5 Fretless is one of my favorite fretless basses. It can really do the Jocko kind of tone with the beautiful, articulate, expressive, very precise, tight, nasally bridge pickup sound, but it can also do kind of an upright thing with the neck pickup. Now I have the neck pickup relatively low on this bass compared to my V7, which is a bit more even on the pickup heights, relatively speaking. But this has a lot of character, and I'm very excited to show these both to you. Well, let's get to it. You guys know what you need to do. Go ahead and hit that like button so my hand will turn back to normal. Thanks. This is such a fun bass to play. I have so much fun playing it. What you heard was with everything at 100%, both pickups at 100% and the tone at 100%. That gives you a basic jazz bassy kind of tone, but where things really shine is when you solo the pickups. Let's start with the neck pickup first. Now I have the neck pickup on this bass set up a little bit lower than I normally would. Here's what that sounds like. Oh yeah, you can really get a nice thuddy, upright sound, which is really usable in a lot of situations. The strings that are on this bass are Labella Deep Talkin' Flats, gauges 45 to 105. Now I like these strings a lot better than the low tension flats, which a lot of people prefer. I like the higher tension on these, and they just feel very responsive to me and they sound great. Now I'm not sponsored by Labella or DiMarzio, but these pickups are also just awesome pickups. They're also featured in the Charvel San Dimas 5 strings, the Area Js. These are just stellar pickups if you're looking for a classic jazz bass sound without any single coil hum. As I mentioned, we are soloing just the neck pickup right now, and this thing is dead quiet. Yeah. Let's go ahead and turn the tone down to about 50%. Here's what that sounds like. And here's the tone all the way down. Now let's turn the tone back up, bring the bridge pickup back, and turn down the neck pickup. Let's get funky. Oh, yes, yes, yes. This is what I'm talking about. We have a noiseless jazz bass pickup here that just captures the jazz bass essence so perfectly. The bridge pickup solo sounds just like you want it to. Now initially I tried a set of DiMarzio Model Js, which are a bit more modern sounding, and I really wasn't happy with the end result. They had a lot more, I guess, mid-range and lacking that jazz bass sizzle that you want. So I'm very happy with these Area Js. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is what you want a fretless jazz to sound like, man. This is right where it's at. And with the Albridge bridge as well as the Hipshot tuners, this is much more well balanced than the stock tuners and bridge, which make it a little neck divey. Same goes for my V7 as well. Oh man, I could play this thing for hours and just noodle around. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the tone down to about 50% now. Here's what that sounds like. And here's the tone all the way down. Very nice, very nice. Now let's go ahead and move on to our V7 vintage. Oh yeah. Yes, yes, yes. This is final form jazz bass right here. This thing is awesome. Also featuring an Albridge drop-in bridge, the Sire V5 has the Fender bridge, so there's some holes exposed and I had to drill for this. However, this Sire bridge was a drop-in replacement. This bass also has the Hipshot Ultralites and DiMarzio Area J pickups. I love these pickups. They just capture so much of that jazz essence. As I said before, they just maintain a lot of that tone that you want without the added noise. So, mwah, beautiful. And The star of the show here is also the Sadowsky preamp, which is one of my favorite jazz preamps. There's a lot of preamps out there, like the stock Sire one, that give you a load of options. However, they are, in my opinion, not necessarily looking at what a jazz bass can do, and more so just giving you a lot of options like any preamp would. However, the Sadowsky onboard preamp for the jazz is very targeted towards what the jazz bass is. It is looking at what you want out of a jazz bass and giving you those controls. You have a tone control and a bass boost as well as a treble boost. I personally think that's right where it's at for a jazz bass and gives you ultimate control over the tone. So what you've heard thus far is about a 30 or 40% bass boost and maybe about a 20% treble boost, and the tone at 100%. The blend is centered, so we're listening to both pickups, and as I mentioned, the neck pickup on this is a little bit higher than I have it on my V5. Here's that one more time, just fingerstyle. Now let's have the preamp back all the way down. So I have the treble and bass boost at 0. There's no cut. This is just natural jazz bass tone. Ooh, listen to that, listen to that. These are awesome pickups. Now let's just play with this bass boost a little bit. Let's bring that up to about 50%. There's no center detent, so you're kind of flying blind in terms of where the halfway point is, but this is just the bass boosted. And here's the bass boost all the way. That is a little on the boomy side, but these are also, powerful pickups. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the bass boost all the way back down to 0. And here's the treble at about halfway. And here's the treble all the way up. You get the idea there. Let's go ahead and bring that back down. And as I mentioned, we have a tone control. Unlike those RSD basses that Sadowsky is working with Warwick to produce out of their rock bass factory in China that I panned for not having the tone control, this does have the tone control. This preamp you can buy for about $160 from Thomann, as well as I think Fret Nation might be starting to stock them, and there's some other shops that stock them nowadays. But either way, these preamps do not break the bank, and they target the jazz bass perfectly in my mind. Here's the tone control at about 50% now, with the preamp boost at 0. And here's the tone all the way down. You get the idea. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and bring the bass up a little bit and the treble, bring the tone up to 100%, and here's both pickups one more time with some slap. Oh yeah, this is where it's at now. Again, just like my V5, it is a much more balanced instrument with the Hipshot tuners and the high mass bridge. way better than with the stock hardware, and this is one of my favorite jazz basses right now, if not my favorite, especially my favorite for slapping. Nope. Now let's just play with this blend control a little bit. Here is just the neck pickup. Very different flavoring than what you get in my V5, and that is because of the pickup height, as well as, I mean, this is a fretless with flat wound strings, but pickup height matters and definitely can affect the character of your tone. So be sure to check your pickup heights if you're not happy with the tone you're getting out of your bass, because that can make a big difference. Now, here is the bridge pickup. Oh man. Yeah, so as you can see, these are much improved over their stock form, both my V5 and V7 vintage here. I love these basses. Now, both of these basses I purchased on my own. I did not get these from Sire directly, though my P10 and other basses I have purchased from Sire directly at an artist discount, and thank you, Sire, for providing that. You guys do make excellent instruments, and I hope you guys take a look at these videos, and I hope it helps you guide things into the future and make your basses even better. So I appreciate what you guys do, and I also appreciate everyone for watching. Thank you, Hipshot, for making lightweight tuners, DiMarzio for making awesome noiseless jazz bass pickups, Albridge for the bridge, Sadowsky for the preamp. None of this stuff was provided. I'm just thanking you guys for making it, because this is all cool stuff. This is all stuff I bought on my own though, so these are my basses. Mine. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to like, subscribe, join our Discord, and leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about my modded Sire jazz basses, my V5 fretless and my V7 vintage ash. And as always, until we groove again.